Greetings. This is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. So, one thing that I most certainly would like to make a point of here is that you can't force anything. You can't force anything. That may sound contradictory to why you decided to embark on the path of magic in the first place. But let me be the first one to tell you, you can't force anything. Nothing in the natural world is forced. I just wanted to do a quick live stream because that is my custom on Thursday evenings to do a live stream. This one will be short, but I did want to make a point. To give you a little background in case you didn't know, as of recent, I've been going through a few obstacles that have really put me into a position that allows me to see what is necessary, see what I have been taking for granted, and to see the beauty of what I have. To see the beauty of what I have. And one of the things that I've learned in this past couple of weeks, 2024, you can't force anything. So, peace to everybody who's here so far. Dara Holland, peace. Nibs Music, my fellow cyclomate, peace. Oath, peace. Koi Sewell, peace. My inner light activation system brother here. Godflow93, long time. Peace, bro. Lasange Decode, good evening. Good to see you. Nothing is forced. We'll get into that in just a second. I won't delay for very long. This is going to be a short stream. As you can see, the setup is a little bit different because if you didn't know, my main computer completely broke down. My phone that I've used has completely broken down. And I've been left with the bare minimum. And it's been frustrating, right? You never really appreciate the things that you have until they're gone. So here I am, live streaming from a burner phone, right? Because all of my equipment broke, I had to invest in a very cheap iPhone. It's like this big. It's like this big, but it gets the job done, right? It gets the job done. It's not the size that matters, right? Al Dickey, peace. DD Toro, peace. Greg Lewis, peace. So what I want to say is that you can't force anything. You can't force anything. What a message, right? Cosmic flow, peace. I appreciate you taking action and being a better person. It's not about what we did in the past, it's what we're doing right now. Jay Baldhale, peace. Glad to see you so consistently. I'm looking forward to us meeting soon, whenever you're ready. So here's the message that I want to relay through this live stream. You can't force anything. Let me know if the audio is clear. I know I've got music going on and I've got this new phone set up. I don't have my microphone because my microphone also stopped working. Let me know if the audio is clear. Okay. The Sanj Decode says audio is clear. Cool, cool. So here's the thing. You can't force. You can't force anything. But Trav, this is the whole reason I got into occult spirituality. This is the whole reason I got into doing magic. This is the whole reason I learned how to do spells and rituals, because I want to force change within my reality. Right? That's why I got into it. Because what I was going through in 2017 was so painful that I needed something different. So I was searching for everything. I went to places that were forbidden. This is why you see me doing videos about Goetia. This is why you see me doing videos about mind control and shit like that. Because I wanted to force change in my reality. So let me tell you what I've learned after 5-6 years or so of attempting that method. See, the label, the phrase, the term of Magus isn't just a cool title. It means something. And at the bare minimum, what it means is someone who understands the movement of the stars. The Magus is someone who understands the movement of the stars. Before the Greeks. This is actually a Persian term. You find Magus originating with the Persian culture. Someone who is able to articulate reality based on the movement of the stars. So here's what I'm saying. You can't force anything, no matter how much we try. You got to understand, this is what I've learned from the Vedic information. There is an aspect of reality, an aspect of self that has always been there and will always be there. That is consciousness. Then there's an aspect of reality that is new, that is created. There's an aspect of reality that has been formed based upon what you've learned, what you've experienced, what you like, what you dislike. What do we call that thing? What do we call that lower aspect that is new, that is based upon what you've learned, what you've experienced, what you hope for, what you hate, what you love? What do we call that aspect of self? I know that other people here know what I'm talking about. Let me know in the chat. There's an aspect of self that has always been, and there's an aspect of self that is new. Some call it the ego, some call it the personality. But what I want to illustrate here is that magic is not about forcing things to be. You might walk through your neighborhood like I do, and you'll look down at a patch of grass, and it's just a patch of grass. The next day you walk out, and you come to see that within that patch of grass is a ring of mushrooms. A ring of beautiful mushrooms. May or may not be edible. But it almost seems like they just appeared overnight, right? Without warning, suddenly they forced their way into existence. And according to science, you'd be a fool to believe that they forced their way into existence. Because what we know and what we've come to understand is that there is a network underneath the soil that has been there for quite some time. And every now and then that network produces fruit that we know of as mushrooms that seemingly appear overnight. We see celebrities and songs and memes and movies and all sorts of things that seem to be an overnight success. An overnight success, right? But anybody who has ever been successful in life, anybody who's ever achieved something, we understand that people from the outside looking in may say, wow, that came out of nowhere. I didn't expect that. Overnight success. But what you know, truly, is that you've worked for it for a very long time. You've worked for it for a very long time. There is no overnight success. Mushrooms don't just pop up overnight. That mycelium network has been there for a very long time. And when the conditions are appropriate, that mycelium network begins to blossom. Nothing is forced. We don't force reality to change. As a magus, as a magician, whatever the term you want to use for yourself, it's not about forcing reality to change. It's about understanding the natural rhythm, the natural pattern, the natural flow of life, and adapting your trajectory to those natural rhythms. If you've ever done a spell that was successful, if you've ever manifested something, if you've ever done anything that turned out good, it wasn't just a snap of the finger. Hollywood has us confused. We think that it's twinkle dinkle doo and something appears. No, there is a manner of work involved. Now, this work may be mental, this work may be emotional, this work may be physical, but it is not an overnight success. It didn't just come out of nowhere and it wasn't forced. It's a gradual progression. And what I want to say is that two things here. Number one, the things that you want are not going to appear at the snap of a finger. That's not magic. That's wishful thinking, and at worst, that's lazy. The other thing I want to say is that continue putting in the work, because that is what yields results. Hell, my computer breaking, my phone breaking, my microphone breaking, that wasn't overnight. There were signs, but I didn't take them seriously. Likewise, when someone has a health condition, it doesn't just appear out of the blue. It's something that you have been developing over time. Same thing with success, victory, achievement, manifestation. That is a result of work, time, and effort that has been put in. So what I'm saying is put this into perspective. Put it into perspective. Put it into perspective. No matter if you're going through a rough time right now, I know you don't want to hear it. I know it's harsh on the ears because it's harsh on my ears too. If you're going through a rough time right now, perhaps this is the fruit of something that was planted. And if you've got success and things are going very well for you, That is the fruit of things that have been planted. So what am I saying? This is not a video about blaming you for life not being the way that you want it to be right now. We can blame it on Pluto in Aquarius. We can blame it on all sorts of things to take responsibility off of our shoulders. But what I want to say is that no matter what the astrological sign is, it only manifests because the conditions were right. Because the conditions were right. Can I get a witness? Do you hear what I'm saying? I can take that responsibility. Conditions were right, and my shit fell apart. Can you take that responsibility? And I've had success because conditions were right. Conditions were right. So here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying. As somebody who considers yourself spiritual, you consider yourself magical, you give yourself a title. You're a magus, you're a sorcerer, wizard, witch, spiritualist, whatever you're calling yourself. You're giving yourself that title. What that means is you've taken a degree of control. You've taken a degree of responsibility over what's manifesting today, right here, right now. Right? You can no longer blame anybody. You can no longer blame any spirit. You can no longer blame a planet or an astrological sign. It's convenient. It's convenient as hell. But what manifests can only manifest if the conditions are appropriate. So if you find yourself in a place that you're not happy with, consider the fact that you manifested the environment for that. Now, think about what you do want. Think about what direction you do want to go into. And cultivate the environment for that. See, this, to me, is so much easier than blaming something for our shortcomings. We fuck up no matter how great you are. Look, I'm Travis Magus, right? I know all the mantras, I know all the meditations, I know all the mudras, I know the NLP, I know all that stuff. And I still make mistakes. I still fall short. And when I recognize and realize that I fucked up, I don't go blaming people, crying about how I've been cursed, right? Oh, somebody put a hex on me. Oh, this, that, and the third. No. What I go looking for is, okay, what did I do to set this up? And where can I go from here? Where can I go from here? When you start thinking like that, you start to allow the subconscious mind to provide you with actionable steps. Peace, Shem L. I hear that Shem L is in the chat. I don't know for sure, but peace to you. Cosmic Flow says, get you an iPhone, Trav. Time to upgrade from an Android. This actually is an iPhone. This is like an iPhone SE. It's like this big. But this is all I've got right now. And here's the thing. I had all my electronics and I took them for granted. Right? I had some high-grade equipment. I had some high-grade resources. And I wasn't using them to the full capacity. It was just like whatever, right? And now I feel that. Now that they're gone, I feel that. And my first instinct wasn't to blame somebody. My first instinct was, you know what? I probably should have done something differently. So right now, I'm going to behave as if I've learned my lesson. See, life isn't trying to punish me, and life isn't trying to punish you. Life isn't trying to punish you or me. Life is only reflecting what you are putting out. Life is only reflecting what you're putting out. Peace, Hazard Pie. Hazard Pie says, I like it when I wake up and Travis is live. Good morning. Good morning. Fresh donuts. This is hot off the Bunsen burner. It doesn't get any better than this. It really doesn't. See, there's signs and there's symbols that help to, and here's the thing, life doesn't mean anything at all. We place all the meaning on life. That's another aspect of being the Magus. Having an understanding that all the symbols that present themselves to your reality, you are the one that gives them meaning. And the meaning that you give these symbols and these signs results in the effect that it has on your life. My cousin, who is an awesome guy, I really appreciate him, gave me a gift today. Let me show you this gift that he gave me. Look at this. See, I collect Funko Pops and I use them as servitors and sigils. And he found one of Travis Magus, LVX777. You see that? He's got the laptop in his hand, a little serpent spider, and his shades and his nappy afro. Yeah. And when he gave that to me, that just alerted something in my head, like, you know what? We're back. We're back. Get off your ass. Get out that bed. Dry your tears. It's okay to have a break. You, person listening, viewer, fellow Magus, it's okay to have a break. You see that unicorn right there? It's okay to have a break. It's okay to sit down and rest. Four of Swords. It's okay. But when it's time to wake up, when it's time to get on your feet, you better recognize. See, my energy is different right now than it was before. Because before, I was trying to be positive. I was trying to get back to who I was. But the whole reason I was feeling like I was less than is because I didn't see the message. I felt like I was losing things, that I was at a loss. No. Life is nothing but change. None of these things define who I am or who you are. Not your car, not your computer, not your house. Any of the things that you've lost, not your kitchen or your bathroom or your friends or your family members. None of the things that you've lost is a definition of who and what you are. Who and what you are is something very essential, very powerful. And you're doing yourself a disservice by allowing something tangible to define you. My computer helped a lot. My phone helped a lot. My microphone made me sound nice and crispy. But none of those things was me. Travis Magus, LVX777, John Travis, whatever name that I choose to tell you, none of the manifest things define who I am, nor do they define who you are. You heard this before. Have you ever seen the movie The Fight Club? You are not your possessions. Now, these things I've used as a magical symbol for a long time, and there have been other pops that I use to represent me. But to have one that is actually me, right? Bro, wake the fuck up. Wake the fuck up. You're not done. You're not finished. You're not injured. You're not handicapped. You can do more with less. And that's what I want to tell you. You can do more with less. Now look, this is what I'm saying. You can't force anything. Understand that life operates in waves, in patterns, in cycles, in turn. And your best bet is to learn to identify these cycles, these patterns, these waves, and align yourself in such a way that you benefit from these cycles, these patterns, these symbols. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? The media is always going to give you symbols, whether it's relationship drama, whether it's political drama, or environmental disasters, or aliens, or whatever. Then the media is going to give you symbols. Yeah. You can count on it. You can bet your bottom dollar on it. But what most people do is they let those symbols dictate their reality and tell them that they're in a very dangerous world where they cannot win. But what I want to tell you is that since you call yourself a magus, a witch, a sorcerer, or whatever word, I don't know what word you use, whatever word you call yourself, because you call yourself that, you know that you have the power to redefine whatever symbol is presented to you, even if it's a loss, even if it's an L, right? Even if it's a L, you have the power to redefine it into something that works for you. That's what time it is right now. That's where we're at right now. That's what we're doing right now. DB31, peace, my friend. Nuru, peace. Always good to see you. Rebecca Sue, peace. Rebecca Sue says, I love tuning in. As a Gemini rising and a Gemini North node, I feel like your communication style works for me. Awesome. Peace, Louie. Good to see you. Yamaika, peace. Matthew Watson, peace. See, look, nothing changed, right? No matter what medium that I broadcast through, all y'all are still here, right? So all the shit that I was stressing out about, null and void. Null and void. It's not the equipment, it's not the material, it's not the things that you lost. It's what you have. It's what you have. Patchwork. Peace. Thank you for your donation. I appreciate you. Peace. Peace. The Sage de Cote says, I've been seeing these things you're talking about. They've been in my awareness. Yeah, me too. Me too. And I know I'm not the only one. That's why I'm making this broadcast. I know I'm not the only one. Maybe not for everybody, but for some of us, it seems like it's rough right now. Hell, it is rough. It's difficult. You're having to figure out some shit that probably you didn't have to deal with in a very long time. It's challenging right now. It's challenging, yeah. But here's what I want to say to you. Number one, nothing is forced. So if this is happening, it's part of the program. It's part of the flow. Ride with that wave. Ride with it. Make it work. Learn how to redefine it. Learn how to reprogram it. Learn how to reframe it. We've talked about this for years. Reframe it. Is this something bad happening to you? Or is this an opportunity to find something about yourself that maybe you didn't know was there? To pull something out from within that helps you to become the best version of yourself. Or should I say, the essence of who you've always been. Not something new, right? Not something new, but to pay it. Because here's the thing. I remember when I was making music a few years ago, I used to love spending hours and hours of my night making beats, loops, listening to my tracks over and over and over and over. I never got tired of it because it was a passion. I loved it, right? And then I got this new software that was kind of AI infused, and it did some new things. And what I started to find was that I started to lose myself by being wrapped up in the tools and the equipment. And I started to get burnt out very easily. And as I think about that, as I thought about that, I found that that was happening again right now. I was letting the tools dictate what I could do. It's not that I was being on live too much. It's not that I was dealing with too many people. I changed my workflow. And I thought it would be easier, but what I was sacrificing was my sanity. And it took me to lose those tools and those equipment pieces to understand just how much I projected myself onto those things. Cosmic Flow says, the cosmic flow. Exactly. It's always there. Like I said in the beginning of this video, there's an aspect of yourself that has always been there. There's an aspect of yourself that has been created based on your experience. Now, one of those aspects will die. The other will continue to do what it's been doing for all of eternity. Louis says Richard Bandler's reframing book is perfect for that. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. There's a 6-step reframing technique that anybody can use, and it works like a charm. Ecolocazion, peace. He says, as long as you are bringing revelations, I'll listen to you on a walkie-talkie. Hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I hope you guys have been enjoying the tarot readings. It's been a way for me to kind of just stay productive and continue to give, because I love to do these live streams and I love to help people. And the tarot readings have been an opportunity for me to kind of just still give, even though I haven't had all the tools that were necessary. But again, it brought me to a place of understanding. Yeah, I took for granted some of the things that I lost, but those things did not define what all of this is. This is about communication of an essential truth. I'm not saying that like, oh, I got the truth. What I'm saying is that when I go live and when I deliver these messages, it's not coming from a premeditated space. If anything, I think about like a baseline concept, but the rest of it is just flowing off the top. It is channeling in a sense. And that's what my whole YouTube channel has been built off of. Cosmic Flow says, I see a red door in front of me right now. Reminds me of the doorway from a ritual on Basic Magic by Philip Cooper. A hard book to get. And if you can get your hands on it, there are some meditations there that can clear away a lot of the fluff. I've always got that book right next to me, by the way. J. Belt Hale says, love the readings, they're a lot of fun. Yeah. Nura says, even if you lose your phone and computer and the internet goes down for days or weeks, what light, LVX, are you denied? That's the thing, right? That's the thing. I think I had to be brought to that point to realize that. Did I really lose anything? No. We still doing it, right? Matthew Watson says, oh, and the book came in for me, by the way. I got it. Can't wait for the next set of classes. Yeah, man. Yeah. We'll talk about that in here in just a second. Midnight Mina, peace. CYCLOMANCY. All right. Give me just a second. I'll be right back. By the way, there's like a lot of people here and like less than half of you have liked the video. Go ahead and slap that like button. You know it's YouTube. Go ahead and hit the like button. If you like this content, if you don't like it, then don't hit the like button. But if you do like this message, this live stream, this content, what we're talking about, go ahead and hit the like button. Okay. So, Lord have mercy. It's difficult. I'm not denying that it is difficult. But what I'm saying is, despite the difficulty, we persevere. Hey, it's a positive, motivational message, right? Despite the difficulty, we persevere. Despite what you're going through right now, I promise you've been through worse times than this. You've been through worse things than this. Yet here you are. Here you stand. You're still here. The difficulties didn't break you then. They damn sure won't break you now. In fact, you've learned so much since the previous hard times that you know how to not only succeed, but how to thrive. Not only how to succeed, but how to thrive. You know how to turn this around into something amazing. That's what I'm about to do. And that's what you're about to do. You can say, oh, new year, new me. You know, let the NPCs talk about how they're doing something so different right now. And maybe they are. God bless them. But when you're tried, when you're tested, it's not a curse. It's not a curse. What you're dealing with is an opportunity to show just how much you've matured and you've grown. To show how much you really understand. This will continue to happen all throughout life. Nobody ever said that becoming a spiritualist means that life is going to be super easy. The same way that nobody said becoming a Christian is going to make things better for you. No, you just learn how to reinterpret reality so it doesn't break you down. You just needed the reminder. Nuru says, that's right, Trav. You just needed the reminder that you are the light. Everything seen, including your body, is just the projector, the mirror, the reflector. Facts, facts. And here's the thing. I've spoken about my cousin. I actually have two cousins who are very tapped in. One cousin lives with me, and he's a devotee of Hanuman and Ganesh. And even when I fall off of my mantras, he's constantly bringing them up, telling me about the discoveries and the visitations and the visuals that he's getting, and it keeps me on track. And I have another cousin who doesn't live with me, and she's very psychic, and many times she's predicted things for me. And I spoke to her on the phone on accident. Long story short, basically, I closed the year out complaining about how I didn't want to have to do social media anymore, about how much of a burden it was, about how dissatisfied I was having to follow trends and having to post and do this, that, and the third. And she said that, well, you've manifested the reality where you don't have to do that anymore. You manifested your computer breaking. You manifested your phone being destroyed. You manifested your microphone being broken because you were so tired of having to do all that. And when she said that to me, it was like, wow. It's not a curse. It's not a plague. It's not bad fortune. You are in control of your reality. You manifest your deepest subconscious desires. And if you need a break, you will get a break, even if that manifests in broken stuff. Did you hear what I said? You're the creator of your reality. And if you're telling yourself, if you're telling Prakriti that you need a break, you just might manifest broken stuff. Maybe that's just for me. But when she said that to me, hot dog did it make sense. Cosmic Flow says you got an older brother into this, right? No, I am the older brother that's into this. Good Lord. So here's what I'm saying. When I say that you can't control reality, what I'm saying is that that's the wrong way to approach it. The best way to approach it is to learn the flow of reality. Listen, reality has been here longer than you have. Prakriti is infinitely older than you. Mother Earth is infinitely older than you. The system that you live in, the family structure, the friends, the culture, all of this is far more ancient than you. You can't control it. But what you can do is understand how it flows. And if you understand how it flows, you can ride those waves and align yourself to success. This is how the politicians work. This is how the people who move pop culture in the way that it moves work. It's by understanding these patterns and these flows and aligning yourself to them. When we got into magic, we were thinking that we were going to control the world and we were going to shoot laser beams and make people fall to our feet and worship us, or whatever you thought you were going to do. But it doesn't happen by force. You find the correct pattern and you align yourself to that pattern. Right? Nuru says, ha ha ha, you got just what you wanted for a minute, then realized your monkey mind was just sick of the routine and demanded a shake-up. Yeah. I learned something from Donald Trump in his old book. He said that taking a break was fatal. Fatal. He said that when he kept a consistent mind and kept doing what he was doing, success would come. But when he laid back and took a break and rested, that's when everything fell apart. And see, before I thought I was overwhelmed. Before I thought I needed a break. But that was nothing compared to now. Had I known that this would happen, I would have never stopped. I would never have stopped. So I understand now. If you want success, it must be built. If you want continued results, there must be a pattern in place that keeps and facilitates continued growth. Maybe that's for me. Maybe that's for you. I learned my lesson. DB31, I hear you. Quay Sewell says, in this month alone, I have gotten a job, lost the job, and my dog died. Oh my God. And yet I feel supremely confident that it's symbolic. It's a communication that I've tapped into. Can't explain it accurately. I get a sense for what you mean. I get a sense for what you mean. Now, like I said, we don't want to blame it on astrology. However, we've got this Pluto entering Aquarius last week, and that is symbolic of a change of the underlying energy. And I'm seeing it everywhere. I'm seeing it in the people that I know personally. I'm seeing it in events in my life. I'm seeing it in my equipment. Pluto, the underworld, Aquarius, next generation of what could be. Not that it's an excuse, but take it into consideration. Gang stalking simulation, peace. He says, I'm late, but did you ever have the class of CYCLOMANCY? We had the first class. We're going to do the second class. Now also I wanted to make an announcement about that. I mean, since we're here, the video is titled You Are True Magus, CYCLOMANCY announcement. So here's the thing. What I wanted to do was to start the second class of CYCLOMANCY tomorrow, well, Saturday. However, my equipment has become broken, completely broken. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to kind of extend the class, the second class. I'm gonna say for 2 weeks. That'll give me enough time to get a new computer, get my stuff situated, get back on my feet. And what I'm gonna do is we're gonna start the Cyclomancy class, the second round, the last round, in 2 weeks. And I'm also going to include the Shadow Work Mastery System. So if you don't know, a couple years ago I did the Shadow Work Mastery System class, and that was a really big deal. It really helped myself and the students in that class to take a deeper look into some of the impulses and intuitions that cause them to behave the way that they do. What I want to do for this next round of Cyclomancy is I want to include the Shadow Work Mastery System with that in order to give it more of a comprehensive thing. So I guess it'll be 2 classes in one. And of course, I'm also going to offer a 3-month free membership to the Magus Academy, which I will be adding new stuff to here. But most importantly, like I said, I'm going to give this about another week or 2 to get myself back in order so I can start adding these new elements to this class, or to these classes. So you didn't miss it. Still doing it. I personally had a slight delay with all the technical difficulties I've been going through. But like I said, I'm definitely going to make an announcement about that on the posts and also on my Instagram. New gear is on the way. And in the meantime, I learned just how much I relied upon and depended upon material things. And you know what's been in my dreams? The Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. Do you all remember when we were doing a book read of the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali? We never finished it. I think we did like the first 2 chapters maybe. Something's telling me to start that back up. And I apologize for last weekend. Like 2 weeks ago we did the Magician. I was gonna do it again last week, but again, technical difficulties. That's not gonna be an excuse for me anymore. We're gonna make it work by any means. We're gonna make it work by any means. So stick with me, stick with it. We're gonna get this thing consolidated. Locked in. Locked in. Because if you allow your material existence to define you, then that means when the material existence fails, you fail as well. I can't do that. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't like excuses. I understand them, but I personally don't like to give them. So yeah, this is where we are. Alchemy Gold, peace. It's been a minute. Thank you for your donation. Thank you. It's been a minute. That's gonna go towards my new computer fund. XO Morgan says, the fuck? Cat laughing face. Maybe you're new here. Maybe you thought it was TikTok, but it was YouTube. Basange Descotes says, become youthful once again and learn to live youthfully. They're on riding on the tides of change and transformation. That sounds like the Page of Wands. Yeah, Page of Wands energy. DB31 says, looked at my phone at 4 a.m. GMT up. Pops TK with all these words and story that sync. Been getting notifications from the Magus Academy. Gang Stalking Simulation says, have you ever worked with the 72 Angels of Magic, and what's your thoughts? Yes. Yes, I've worked with the 72 Angels of Magic. Yes, I've done the 11-day ritual multiple times, and I've gotten very successful results working with that particular system of magic. Maybe a better question as far as which angel or what you're trying to do. Really, it's not the system to question. It's not the system that you want to question. Question yourself. Those rituals in that book take 11 days minimum. Can you stay consistent for 11 days minimum? That's what you need to ask me, Trav. How do I stay consistent for 11 days? I can answer you that. Book of Gabriel, peace, peace. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being on this live stream. So Book of Gabriel did a video that was talking about Kabbalah, right? He had me featured. He had brother AA Rashid featured. And I sent a message to him about being on a podcast. But like I said, my computer, my phone, and everything kind of went out of sorts. Book of Gabriel says, salute Travis, we keep it moving and in motion. We bend reality to our will, fam. Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. I'll get back with you, man, as soon as I can. Duckman says, oh, you're the person King Cobra JFS mentioned on stream. I have no idea who that is. Nuru says, I am the light. For me, there are no barriers, period. Shime says, peace, Trav. Have you ever recited mantras in your mind while surrounded by external silence? Absolutely. Absolutely. In particular, the mantras that I recited in external silence came from... what's that book? The Descent by Swami Satchisangananda Saraswati. The Descent. Lord have mercy. All right. So it's 12:10 for me. And mainly what I wanted to say was, look, you cannot force reality. As a magician, as an occultist, as a witch, wizard, whatever you call yourself, it's not about forcing reality. It's about understanding the flow, understanding the pattern, understanding what is at present, and adapting yourself to them. Because look, the consciousness that is behind everything already understands. What's that mean? That means that an aspect of you already understands the truth. An aspect of you already understands the truth. Now we have this second aspect of the ego, which has been built up out of past experiences, beliefs, failures, successes, prejudices, likes and dislikes. This aspect of ego, which is temporary, that is the thing that blocks ultimate consciousness. So what do you need to do? You need to understand how to listen to and trust consciousness over the fear and the self-preservation of ego. Yeah, ego serves a purpose. Yeah, ego serves a purpose. Right? We need ego to do this, that, and the third. No one's saying destroy the ego, fight the ego. No, what I'm saying is identify the difference between the temporary and the absolute. Come to identify the difference between the temporary and the absolute. If you can do that, you are further on your path of enlightenment than anybody else that you know. Unless you live next door to some guru. Most people believe that they are their ego. Most people believe that they are that temporary self. Most people believe that they are that aspect of self that is built upon memory, likes, dislikes, fears, paranoia. Most people think that is me, that's what I am. But the basis of that ego is temporary. It will die when you die. In fact, it dies every couple of years when you start to change your beliefs about the world. So this is why meditation is so important. Because when you sit still and you stop and you meditate, you can catch a glimpse of that eternal consciousness that does not change, that was here before you, that is here now, and that will be here after you're gone. And when I say you, I'm talking about that ego. To be able to transcend that is the ultimate goal. To be able to transcend that in waking life is the goal. Now here's the thing, y'all. Here's the thing. Even if you do it, you can still fall back. So the thing is to transcend it and to maintain that transcendence. I've reached it before. And there's a couple people in this chat who I know have reached it before. And those of you in this chat who have reached it before, you know, if you're being honest, it takes work to maintain that. All it takes is some little lady or some guy, some food, some gambling, some money to throw you off course for a little bit. But the beauty of it is, if you've reached it before, you can and will reach it again. You can and will reach it again. All right, so that's my message. I don't want to stay here for too long. I wanted to try to do this stream for an hour, and get back to planning this next thing that I'm gonna do. Relax you good 11 says, Travis, do you recommend your students to enter into the tunnels of Set? Well, typically no, because I recommend you study the Kabbalah, learn what that is first. But if you're asking that question, you're probably not going to listen to my advice. So in that case, Go ahead and dive in head first. See what you get out of it. See what you understand about it. See how it translates to your waking life. And if that works for you, come back and tell me some tips. But otherwise, study Kabbalah. Study the tree. Understand the correspondences. Understand the relationships. Understand the patterns and the patterns of relationships. And then dive into the clip-off. But like I said, if you're asking me that question, you're not going to listen to what I'm saying. So go ahead and do it. Dive in head first. Reckless abandon. Do what thou wilt. All right, so listen. This has been a very releasing type of stream. I'm glad that I did this. It was helpful for me. Maybe I'm selfish. This was good for me to kind of just get this off my chest and talk and be amongst people who understand what I'm saying, because in this place there are not many people who understand what the fuck I'm talking about. But I know when I get on live, you guys understand what I'm saying, so I appreciate you. I thank you. This is fun. It feels good. And yeah, keep going. This shit might be a little bit aggravating, to say the least. But one monkey don't stop the show. Keep going. You'll see that everything will pan out the way that it's supposed to. You'll see that. Without a shadow of a doubt. You won't have to convince yourself that, oh, everything's happening for a reason. Everything's happening in my favor. Like, none of that. Like, you're going to see beyond a shadow of a doubt that all this stuff was working to help you evolve to a specific point. All right, y'all. So I'm out. I'm very appreciative of my cousin getting me this LVX777 with the MacBook Pro, and he's got a MacBook Pro. You see that? And the serpent, right? What's the serpent represent? 13 negas. You see them serpent eyes? Look at that. It's one of one. You are one of one. You are one of one, right? And I'm gonna put that right next to my Princess Celestia. This shit cost me $50, but it was worth it. And they're like swimwear, you hear me? And they're like swimwear. Have you something that you love, and love it all the way. All right, enough. Time for me to roll out. Love you all. We're gonna get this CYCLOMANCY thing underway. Jay Baldale says, Trav, you planning to do book study this weekend? Yes. It's my son's birthday, but I do plan on doing the book study this weekend. Yes. All right, so didn't want to make this too long. It's been about an hour, 10 minutes or so. Relax You Good 11 says, should we run this live back and watch it? Yes, you should. Yes, especially if you're a human being with lungs that breathe oxygen. If that's the case, you definitely should run it back. And if you're looking at the clip off, you know, do what you gotta do. But my recommendation is to understand the foundation first. Yes, the clip off is the foundation of the tree, but you've got to understand the tree before you can understand the foundation of the tree, right? You don't study an orange tree before knowing what an orange is. You learn about an orange and you taste its fruit and it's delicious, and you learn about all the different things you can do with an orange. Then you learn that it's a tree that oranges grow off of. Then you learn about the roots and the soil and the history, right? Or you can just follow your ego. Either way, man, do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. All right, we out. We out. We out. We out. Thank you all. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate your time. CYCLOMANCY course is coming, and I am bundling up that course with so many wonderful things that it would be an absolute no-brainer to be involved with it. All right. January 21st, a young Lawrence Edward Stokes III was born. Happy belated birthday to you, young Lawrence Edward Stokes III. Live a good life. Live a good life. All right. Abiu says, hey Trav, any way to see if we open a portal in our home? Yes. Just use your astral vision and see if there is an energy current that is different from the typical energy current of the home. So if your home has a regular, everyday routine, and within your astral vision, you're able to see that there is a disruption, there is something that is disrupting that routine, you should be able to locate exactly where it is, and you should be able to identify the intention behind the disruption. What positive thing is this disruption trying to do, right? I know y'all ask these kind of questions because you're looking for a demon to fight, and that is what Hollywood has programmed you to do, NPC. But if you're tired of being an NPC, what you're going to learn to do is identify the positive intention of this portal that's being opened. Identify what good intention does it have? How is it actually trying to help you? Even if it's doing it incorrectly, right? It's almost like a program or some hardware that has gone rogue. It isn't evil and it's not trying to hurt you. It thinks it's doing good. So if you're trying to locate this portal in your home, try to identify the positive benefit that it's trying to give to you. And once you locate that, maybe you can do your magic and help it to understand, hey, you've done great. We no longer need your services. We appreciate everything. But now it's time for you to be neutralized. Or you can, throw some rice and some chalk and some sage and all that other stuff. I don't know. All right, why are y'all asking me all these questions when I'm trying to sign off? That's what I don't get. Y'all could have asked me these questions 20 minutes ago. Thank you, Alchemy Gold. All right, here we go. Listen, this is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. I love you. Peace. Cosmic Flow says, you know you want to stay, John. I do. You strangers are my only friends. Of course I want to stay. But I'm leaving. I have to set boundaries, right? I have to like set a beginning and an end. I can't just stay here all damn night. It's like what, 12:27 Eastern time? No, but seriously, I appreciate you. You're awesome. You know, everybody tries to be hard and cool and trendy or whatever, but sometimes gratitude is gratitude, right? It's just nice to have familiar faces, even though it's just names. I don't know what most of you look like, but it's good to have you here. And you know, it's incentive, it's motivation to keep going, or whatever. Matthew Watson says, "How was how was Pal World, bro?" Listen, it's getting to the point where I need a break from Pal World. I didn't even realize that I spent 12 hours on it last night. Yeah, I think I'm about to hop on Fortnite for a little bit. You can join if you want. I don't know what your night's looking like, but I'm gonna hop on Fortnite for a couple of rounds. Then I'm gonna get me some sleep. Then I'm gonna get to work because I got a lot of stuff to do concerning this right here. But you know, here we go. Love y'all. Peace. Cosmic Flow.